Hi everybody, welcome very much to the channel. It's a Cloud Surfer here, and today we'll talk about the full moon in Aries, how it's aligning with the other planets, and in general this will represent what type of thoughts, feelings, illusions, imaginations can make you overreact. Right? Before, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Use the links down below to find more of my content and to book readings with me. And let's get started. Today we have full moon in Aries. Anytime it's a full moon, we have more of an opportunity to overreact and over-respond to us and the outside world as well. But how we do that and the things that are more likely to bring us to that space will be different as we go through different moon cycles, right? So with the full moon in Aries, we might be overreacting and over-responding to new feelings and emotions that deal with our creativity, with our individuality, with our personal interests, personal insecurities, and also passion, motivation, anger, and frustration. Right? Moon in Aries is in conjuncting, misunderstanding Mercury in Scorpio. That means that our overreactions and over emotions are being misunderstood by how we think, communicate, and analyze. Because how we thinking, communicating, and analyzing are coming from more fixed, emotional, deep, and private spaces, while our new feelings and new emotions are coming from more about more external places or events. It has to deal more with us actually expressing or being insecure about expressing instead of us actually needing to contain or be more private and calculative about what you think and how you analyze. So the energy is the same. It's about uniqueness, about individuality, about things that are deep and purposeful, but we feel the need to be more expressive, but how we're thinking and communicating, it's a bit more deep and sacred, so there might be some misunderstandings from that realm. Also then Venus is also in Scorpio, so we also misunderstanding how we are feeling, how we are relating and loving, and to what we are committing. So you might be feeling a bit more expressive, a bit more passionate, or a bit more insecure, but we have to relate in a more private way, in a more solid way, with a more strong face way. It's all about the same things like we said with Mercury, right? It's all about those deep desires, those deep passions, motivation, aggression, and frustration, right? But we want to relate that in a more sophisticated way, and we want to commit in a fixed and consistent way, but we feel the need to initiate new feelings and new passions instead of committing in a more focused way. But in the end of the day, even though we might be going through misunderstandings in this circumstance, if we are being ourselves, if we know our cycles, if we know our purpose, even though you might look like a fool, even though you might go through some extreme emotions, because you are on your way, the misunderstandings will make sure you get to the right place. You know what I'm saying? Then we have Mars in itself that is in Cancer, 22 degrees. So that means the full moon in Aries is actually squaring its representative, its close cousin, Mars, because Mars rules Aries, right? So we are learning how to take our overreactions and over emotions that deal with our personality, personal insecurities, passions, and frustrations, and we want to keep that passion, keep that frustration, but learn how to be more familiar, family friendly, more comfortable, or create a space that allows us and others to be more comfortable, more close, and more spiritual, aka believing in more in all possibilities around us when we are being expressive, or when we are attracting circumstances that forces us to be expressive or to deal with things that come from our personal interests and personal insecurities. Right? For an example, you might have this interest that makes you feel ashamed or you don't want others to know. Now, if you want to really be into that, if you want to go on and use that, you must create internally an environment that makes you feel comfortable, and then when you express that to others, they might think it's weird because they don't know it, but if you come across the right way, they will feel more comfortable into accepting that, even, or not even, but if you are really passionate and motivated about it. If you're just in the fence and don't really care about it, you think it's weird and others will think it's weird because we're talking about Mars here. You need to show the passion, you need to go hard in that thing. You know what I'm saying? Then we have Jupiter in Gemini, so it's a sextile actually, so we have an opportunity to expand on our over emotions and overreactions if we are being mutable, light, cold, and logical about our wisdom and knowledge, about our testimonies and travels. Then we can find a place to liberate, to alleviate, and to actually connect to the right places, to the right audience, our extreme feelings of passion, motivation, anger, frustration, personal interests, and personal insecurities. Then, or just to conclude this, and this opportunity will make things lighter, and that's really important because on full moons we can go too deep, we can go too out of the wazoo real quick. So if you expand on your wisdom and knowledge in a mutable, logic, and communicative way, you can find in the middle of a bunch of people, you can find the right ones, the right spaces to direct all that passion and motivation, frustration as well from the full moon in Aries. Then we have Saturn in Pisces, so a fatal attraction between Saturn and the full moon. So you might feel very ready, very angry, or very motivated to express any new thought, any new feeling, any new vision that deals with spirituality or whatever you believe in, and then making those things a reality, a pattern, a system, a structure that can bring you safety. But at the same time, if you're already involved into a reality that it's not really real, it's more like an illusion or a dream, or you think you're safe but you're in la la land, or you are building up in spiritual fallacies, you are building up your networking and associations about a relationship and not a spiritual ship, right? What you are expressing or the feelings and the emotions that you are overreacting to right now might not be the ones that you should be so invested, so passionate or frustrated about, right? And because we have that fatal attraction, it might be a bit hard to distinguish, right? What are the real dreams that we should be expressing and overreacting about, and what are those situations that they could become a reality, that they look like they could become a system, right? And then you invest too much into them and you just lead to burning bridges situations, you being frustrated, you being naive, you acting like a fool because you were expressing too early or too much about the spiritual situation that wasn't really spiritual. You know what I'm saying? But in the end of the day, if you were already building on a system and structure with your spirituality, with your uniqueness, with your creativity and your purposes, and you were mutable and realistic and you were wise and strong in applying your limits and boundaries, you will be fully invested, you'll be going deep into those new expressions, feelings, passions, and frustrations that will help you feel more comfortable and just feel more ready to add up to whatever you were already building when it comes to a spiritual reality. Then we have Uranus in Taurus, also fatal attracting this full moon in Aries, but now it's more like you will feel insecure about anything that you are doing uniquely if it's not bringing any physical results or enough. That's where the mistakes here from the full moon can come in, because you might be overreacting to the situation, you might be overreacting to your status, and you might be receiving some results, but you think that others think or the world thinks it's not enough, so you feel insecure and you start to create the wrong images about yourself or any unique circumstances that you are in, because Uranus in Taurus means that we are looking and already doing unique things that bring us a fixed security, right? But if you don't feel safe or if you don't feel secure, you can start to overreact and create these new images and frustrations about yourself or those situations. On the positive side, it also means that you can initiate, right, new expressions and new feelings to add up to that unique circumstance that you're already in to bring you safety and security. But because it's full moon, right? You might be overreacting, overexpressing, or you might be too frustrated or too passionate in an external way, where you should be a bit more calm, cool, and collected and analyzing things from far away. Then we have Neptune in Pisces as well, so you might be overreacting or creating new feelings or creating new passions about a grand dream or a grand illusion. And last but not least, Pluto in the cusp of Aquarius and Capricorn, so still there's that energy of the square between Capricorn and Aries, so learning how to transform our reality so it can be creative and stable enough to allow us to go deep within yourselves and overreact to new expressions, new feelings, passions, motivations, and aggressiveness. And then going into Aquarius, we have the opportunity to transform our mind and a social perspective about our unique mind by transforming how we communicate in a unique and consistent way. We can make sense and give status, a good status, to our overreactions if they are coming from a space that deals with our personal interests and personal insecurities. So thank you very much for watching. Remember, if you need a special full moon reading, I'm available for you guys. Thank you for watching. I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions. A whole bunch of individuality, creativity, and responsibility as well. And the Zodiac Cloud Surfer is surfing out. See you next time.